I think I may have found a way to mount it and be usable. Cut the tabs off, it's sitting on wood now. Cut those little brackets on the bottom. Had it re-chromed. And then this is just where it normally holds the backrest on. So I drill a hole in the bottom here. And then I'm going to weld this to this. Same thing on the other side. And then I might put a piece between here and there just to give it a little more support. And then from under here to that bar, I'll take the thing off so you can see it here in a minute. And of course the wooden tout would not be there. I don't know, it's kind of high. But this way it would actually be functional. Well, the thing is, what I'm doing doesn't alter anything on the bike. Strictly that bracket. So if I weld this on, bolt it all up, look at it, decide I don't like it, I can still cut the plate off, put it up to that, and put the rebar down here, like I was originally going to do. Not liking the idea of drilling other holes in that body though. So we're going to try this, see what it looks like. Let me take that body off. Not the body. I'm going to take the luggage rack thing off. And then this piece, yeah, there it was. I'd weld it to the chrome on the closest to you, and then on the seat I would just drill a hole through there and put a screw in it. And then down on the bottom part down here, I just weld it in. And of course I'd have all this room underneath for the bike itself to come down. This could move as needed. And then I think with these little chrome bars, if I get those little chrome luggage racks, there we go. They go over the fender, they're kind of round it, one on each side. I think they kind of tie everything together. I think. Like I said, this is only going to be welded to this and then screwed in with bolts. So if I decide I don't like it, I can easily take it off, put everything back the way it was before I did anything. And then I can cut these plates off here, just cut the welds, put a piece of square tube underneath, and then bolt that to the body on each side. Don't really want to put it on the body, but this might be too high, and well, not that it's too high, it might look stupid. There's a few out there of you, I already hear you, oh no, it's stupid, don't do that. There's a few of you, well hey, it works. You know what? I'll do what I want. So I'm going to put it all together and see what it actually looks like, and if I think it looks stupid, it's coming off. If I think it looks alright, it'll stay. 6 months from now, if I decide it looks stupid and it looked good till then, I'll take it off in 6 months. And that's where we're at. So the only thing left is I just need to mark where this hole is on the bottom. You can see it under there. And then weld this up. Not this bar, but another one. I'll weld in there, just from here to there, just to give it a little more support with the weld. And then this actual one, I did cut this to go specifically here. Centered in there somehow, something like that. And get the wood and the towel out of the way, and we'll come back and see what it looks like. Now one thing that threw me off is I know this handle's not centered. So when I was lining everything up, I was trying to line it up with this. I can't. I have to line it up with the seats, the bike, and the handlebar that way. So I know that handle's off to the left just a bit. That's what throws everything off, is that got misaligned. We can deal with that. But just looking at the rack and that leather tour pack, we need to center it with the seats, gas tank right up the center. No, I didn't get to write it today. Didn't happen. Tomorrow's Sunday. This stuff I'll get done tonight. I don't give a shit tomorrow, even if I have to set that out to the side. I'm going for a friggin' ride. I haven't rode it since I put the triple trees in. I have no idea what, if anything. I know it made a difference. I just don't know what it feels like, and I want to know. Oh yeah, got all that chrome stuff all glued up that I was showing you in the last video. All glued up and done. So that stuff is done. It actually came out pretty good. It's cheap, but for what it is, the tape you see back there is only because I was using that to line things up. You can see my pencil marks in there. I was using just to line things up with the front of that tote. That's all that tape's about. Alright, well, I'm going to get busy on that and we'll be back. Alright, well, you all saw the video where we went out for a little test ride. Still haven't got the back on yet, but we're doing that now. Anyway, went out on the test ride. Found some tweaking I had to do and readjustments and aligning some things here, but got 99% of that, I think. Ran into the issue with these. Remember before we kept hitting back there? Oh yeah. I had to go in, I cut another inch off this. Where is it? And of course that's not the right one. Grab the correct one. Which is the one that goes on this side that this goes to. Anyway, as you recall, this used to stick out here just a little bit. It was actually right about where my thumb is. So I took about 1.25 inches off. Just cut it off. This side wasn't actually the issue. It's the other side's kind of hitting on the body. So I just got those back, got them cut off. Actually at the point of putting things back together now. That was adventuresome, getting those cut. Rebled the brakes. Didn't show you that. I mean, I just bled them the same way I did before. Just had to do it again. Back ones I'm going to have to do one more time, I think. Front ones I think I did too much. I had to actually adjust, you can't see me. I had to actually adjust that handle a little bit because it was way out at the end. So I had to make it so it came in a little bit. Went on a few rides. I put about 50 miles on it. Front, or the main shock on the bike itself, I'm going to have to find a way to just make that solid. But for now it's still there. It's at its highest, least moving, most firmest setting. It's not enough. It moves more than this does. Back shocks, there's 4, 2 on each side. The back 2 I have on their lowest setting. The front ones I have on their second to lowest setting. Tires are all filled up with the air pressure they're supposed to be. I think it's like 55 pounds. 2 up, rides great. Did have to take these off because, like I said, we'd hit a bump and it would hit the body in there. So got those all ground up, got them all fit, so I put that back together. Still have to clean everything. So let's go ahead and get those put back on and put that leather piece on, the tour pack, and the backrest. She wasn't too happy I didn't have the backrest on there, but without it, nothing hit, no issues. Got these cut down, got them fixed, bolt everything back in, put the tour pack on. It'll actually be the first time the tour pack's been bolted on. I'll show you what I did on that. Now, I'm not the greatest welder. And I know you haven't seen my bitch sessions on the trike itself yet. I don't know if you can see that, but those are my welds. Up in here. You can see that. I know it's black on black. Hopefully you can see it. But this flat square is what I welded onto the frame, if you remember. And then the other side. Then I just threw some paint on it because I couldn't just leave it unpainted. Just did the front part so it'll blend in with the bike itself, and then the rest I left chrome. There's no reason to paint that. Just had to paint those welds so they don't rust. And this part will be covered up. You actually won't see any of it. The only thing you're going to see is the two screw heads that go in here. Otherwise this part will all be covered. You won't see any of it. Still, it looks better than what they did on the trike that I spent a few $1,000s on, and all that little piece I just showed you I spent 75 bucks on. Welded it myself. Now am I going to be hanging my life on it and two wheels and a whole axle doing, you know, 60, 70 miles an hour down the interstate? No. I know my welds. I'll stick to my bicycles and lawnmowers and a little bit of bodywork welding that I'll do. I won't do framework. I know better. But I know my limitations. Plus I don't have a TIG welder. I did that all with a MIG. Alright. Start bolting these back on. One of the times it would be a good idea to be left-handed. I'll probably just show you this one side. I'm sure you all can figure out how to run a nut and a bolt and a wrench. Not sure I'm in the way. I'm probably too low for you to even see what I'm doing. Move that down a little bit for you. Can you see me? Oh yeah, there you go. We don't want this one tight, we just want it snug. We still got to swivel it down and put the back bolt in. This is where being a contortionist comes in handy. Got it started. I'll tighten it up with the wrench, tighten the front one up. I'll do the other side, and then I'll be back. Alright, so we got those bolted on, both sides. Like I said, trimmed up the back sides of this a lot. You remember this was out here almost even with this chrome trim thing. Yeah, we could have good. Well, I guess it's about 1.5 inches looking at it. That thing should hit absolutely nothing. Even with two people. Now, the Sissy bar. Also, I'd make a little modification to that. Hopefully you're seeing that. Had to drill a hole in it. I'll show you the hows and whys of that here in a little bit. For now, put that in there. Throw a towel down, just thought it better to be safe. If I screw up and drop something. Not a huge big deal. Ah, yes. That hole in the Sissy bar you saw lines up with this hole because we cut the bottom brackets off, as you can see. So we don't have a bolting down to anything. So we'll be bolting through here through here, and then one up here on the top. So that's what we're going to do now. Make sure everything lines up though. And I did make those tight. Then I'm going to put a bolt in the top one, just so I don't have to worry about it falling down. I was going to do it where it just threaded into the Sissy bar. As you can see, it kind of threads in. But then I got to thinking, it's like pretty much that whole touring pack hangs on that. So I went ahead and just drilled it all the way through. Put a nut on the bottom. Now, so now we can line these up in here. Or not. What's going on? Little modifications that we made. You can see, I got it bolted on. What happened is I got the paint too thick, so between the two sides it wouldn't line up. It's on there now, and as you can see, it ain't going over with my weight. I'll wipe off some of my fingerprints because they're going to be underneath here. Parts I can't get to when that's on there anyway. It is solid chrome, plated or whatever they did. I can't remember. It's triple plated chrome, I think is what they said. So I ain't too worried about it rusting by any means. Still, I know what's under there. We'll clean it off as much as we can. I think everything else I can reach from underneath. We got that back piece on. Got the little rubbery thing mounted. Got to put the backrest on for the passenger here. Got the nuts and bolts. Tools for that. And this is just a simple clamps together thing around this bar. Start it and then adjust the height and stuff where we want it. I know from your end it's a whole lot of watching my hands and fingers barely move behind something. But I'm sure you can skip through this. Should only take a couple minutes here though. So, weekends, definitely I'll be out in the country a little bit. Actually open it up. I've only drove a little bit here around the house, around the neighborhood. We got a couple little main streets around here. Been out on those. So far it drives great. It rides great. The only thing that I have found with that raked front end, I got it out there, you know, that made a huge difference. Just like all the other videos, it's, you know, $1,000 for that silly little thing to push it out, you know, 6 degrees. Big difference. Now real slow, I'd say like under 5 miles an hour. It's kind of shaky if you're turning. If you get it up to 10, or if you're like just out on the street, you ain't gonna turn that sharp anyway. But once you're above, 5 to 10 miles an hour, you don't even, it drives perfect. So definitely that was worth it. Now let's get this up here. Nuts and bolts in. Oh yeah, another nice thing about this tour pack, this tub that it's made out of, it's leather encased. It's got a couple holes, one here and one on the other side, so you could run wires through it if you wanted to. Put a little rubber grommet on it, make it waterproof. Gonna do that, of course, but if you want to put a phone charger in there, or if I was going to run lights of some sort out here, I could. If I had an electric cooler, I could put that in here, put some sodas in. Here in a second I'll get the nuts on, and then I'll take you around to actually look at it. I'll get these on here real quick. Get that fixed. That's basically just loosen them up and move them forward. I'm going to take you off the stand. So there's kind of the gist of it. Everything 99% done. Back rust, tour pack. Get that towel out of there. I'll toss it over there. So the studs kind of match up. That's kind of neat. If my passenger wants to lean back, their head. Now I didn't tighten them, as you saw. I just put them on finger tight, but they could lean back on that a little bit. It's not bolted to the fiberglass, so it won't hurt anything. I still have to clean all the chrome and the paint, yes. I don't think I actually showed you the inside of this. It's got the little leather straps. But yeah, there's quite a bit of room. Grab my helmet. All the friggin' way down here. And then this is a 3/4 size helmet. As you can see, it pretty much fills it if you were to put a 3/4 size helmet in there. There's a pad to go in there I didn't put in yet. But yeah, it would hold a full size helmet for the most part. And then if you'd have room for gloves, sunglasses, soda, whatever you're going to put in there with it. The trunk down here, obviously there's room for 3 full-size helmets, sunglasses, spares, a couple pairs of gloves, license, registration. So the helmets will be down there. That way when I'm not wearing them I can lock it, but we all know locks just keep the honest people out. Up here I'd probably honestly put a little cooler in there just to hold my, keep my dew cold. And then I think I'm gonna, I'll have to get a soda, cup holder of some sort mount up here. Well, yeah, there it is open. Now I can't open it 100%, but more than enough to get in there and put a helmet in. You see these little wires. Those are to keep it, it could go open a lot further. But it hits my backrest, which I want to keep that. So yeah. Still toying with the idea of some sort of a little fin under here with a tail light on it. Maybe a brake light. I don't know. Tail light anyway. This kind of looking thing. Now I'm not going to put this one under here. It's too small, but something like that. Comes out to the edge, just so the Nimrods behind me can see me. Short of getting out and hitting them in the head and say, hey, I'm sitting here. Now you probably watch my other videos. I think video 18 is the best one. It's not quiet. I probably won't set off car alarms going by them, but it's not quiet either. But it should be enough to get their attention. If they can't hear my bike, trike, and they don't see my lights, pretty much if they hit me, if I can still walk, I'm gonna go kick some ass, because like, hey, you're kind of being stupid, and nobody's gonna miss you on this planet anyway. Just my opinion. I wouldn't do that. Wink, 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 wink. Oh, did get the headlight aligned and everything. I just went out in the driveway, 20 feet from the garage door, measured it up 2 foot from the ground. It's pretty much the standard, 2 feet for every 20. And it's dead on. And then the high beam, I think, was like 2 inches higher than that. So it's just about as close as I'm going to get it. Bleed the back brakes. Tomorrow's Sunday. I'm going to go put a few miles on it. And like I said, 100 miles, I'll probably come back, take a look at the nuts and bolts, make sure they stay tight, make any adjustments, fine tuning to those shocks. Still kind of messing, but I think I like it where it's at, but we'll see. And then again, we'll come back at 500 miles, 1,000. Probably lose most of you by then, but I'll probably come back again at 5,000 and 10,000 miles. And by then, I probably won't care about making videos anymore. It's like, I'm just going to go riding. Of course, I'm going to have a ton of videos. You know, I'm going to mount it up here. I'll post a few pictures of my rides. And, so yeah, we'll still have them going. Thank you.